Hey guys, Chris here, Hotel Nerd. We're doing our first episode of the new year for Let's Talk, and I'm joined by a very special guest. Finally get to put a face to the name. If you're familiar with SEN Live, then you know that him and I had a rivalry last year, and I'm still wanting to do a match on Schmodown with this gentleman, and that is Mr. Larry Lease. Hey there, Larry.
Hey.
So how's it going with you today? You look cold.
Yeah, it's kind of cold right now.
So geographically, where are you at again?
In Dallas, Texas.
Well, it shouldn't be cold in Dallas. I mean, you can always come to Pennsylvania and suffer with me.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one.
You sure about that? We can make it happen.
Pretty sure.
All right. I mean, I'll give you my 2 feet of snow that I got on the ground right now.
Oh, I'm good with that.
So today we're going to be talking about NCIS because that was Larry's topic of choice. And if you're interested in following Larry, this is his Twitter handle. That's the personal one. I know you have another one. It's at Cinema Gold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Cinema Gold with the number 2.
Okay. I always forget the number 2. And my phone's going ding, ding, ding. Give me a second. All right. So, on to the topic of NCIS. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start from the beginning, or do we want to hit characters first?
We can start at the beginning, I guess.
All right. So, this is a trick question. What do you count as the beginning? The 3-part JAG episode or the beginning of the show beginning?
Let's see. I'd say JAG. That's where I kind of started with. Like, I binged JAG, and then I saw, what was it? It was Gibbs and Tony that showed up.
Yeah, and there was another lady that wasn't Kate. It turns out the reason that she wasn't on the show is because she got canned because the fans didn't like her. So, but so yeah, I can't remember that character's name to save my life because she didn't really make an impact. And again, like I said, people didn't like her, so they didn't stick around. But Tony definitely made an impact.
Yeah.
I mean, because Tony freaking DiNozzo, how doesn't he make an impact? I don't remember. Did the Gibbs slap start in JAG, or was that an NCIS exclusive?
I think that was just NCIS.
Okay. So, what were your thoughts on the first season? Its opening set.
Man, I haven't watched season 1 in a long time.
You and me both.
Let's see. I'd say I was impressed by how it started, because usually the first seasons are kind of slow and whatnot. Like, the first season for NCIS had pretty much action throughout.
I liked how they started on Air Force One, like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Started strong, and even had a really good George Bush impersonator.
Oh, yeah.
So it even dated itself very, very topically, which I thought was pretty cool. That, and I mean, can you go wrong with Ducky? Honestly, like Ducky's.
Nope.
Honestly, everybody's like, "Oh, the show's Gibbs," which is fine. But for me, Ducky's my favorite character.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need Gibbs and Ducky for the show.
Yeah, well, you can tell the new seasons with Ducky being around a lot less that it hurts.
Yeah.
So now I know a lot of people said their favorite character is Tony because, it's Tony. He seems to be the one that everybody can relate to for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though he's the pampered rich kid.
But then he's also the guy that went to college and partied too much.
Yeah, this is true too.
Yeah.
So, really, with season 1, we go and we don't have too many stakes, really. I mean, we have some pretty high tense moments, but no real losses or anything.
Yeah.
Good setup for season 2, though, with Aerie being introduced.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't see them bringing him back because it seemed pretty formulaic. It was like week to week that they were just doing different cases.
Yeah.
And it never gave you the hint that they were going to start a through line for 2 seasons, which was a nice surprise once Aerie creeped back up in season 2. Speaking of which, I'm watching 24 right now for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the shit out of it. I just started season 4. And Aerie is actually in season 1. He's actually in the first episode. So that took me off guard. Have you ever seen 24?
I watched it all like when it first aired.
Yeah, see, I was that kid that was stuck out in the middle of the woods, didn't have local channels.
Yeah.
So I missed out on some really good shit. So now with streaming services, I'm catching up.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say NCIS and 24 were pretty much the 2 shows that I actually like sat in front of the TV to watch.
Nice. I feel like I would have too back in the day when they were on. I can't believe that NCIS is almost 20 years strong. That's ridiculous. Any other show other than The Simpsons go that long? I can't think of any.
I think Law and Order went, 15 or more.
Yeah. The Simpsons are what, 30 now?
Yeah.
And NCIS is pushing 20. I think they're on season 18 now.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So, being that I kind of touched on it already, and I'm going to let you take lead here.
Yep.
Favorite character that was killed off?
Ooh. Oh, it's probably I'd go with Kate.
See, I go with Mike.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's swan song, which properly named title for the episode that it happened in. I mean, that's exactly how I pictured that he would go out. Between him and Jenny. Those 2 are up there 1 and 2 for me for deaths. Character that hit you the most that has departed, like either with death or just called it quits.
I'd say for calling it quits, probably Abby.
Yeah, Abby.
Like, it's not the same now without her in the lab.
I think she had the most impact.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the new lab technician.
Yeah, I don't like. I get it, but then I don't really like her
Because she seems like a cookie cutter version of Abby.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan. Favorite episode?
For some reason, I always watch it. It's that it was semi-recent. I think it's either Christmas or Thanksgiving at the airport.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was the one where Tony was there waiting for his dad.
It was Tony, Bishop, and then her boyfriend,
and
her husband. And then what was it? Oh yeah, they stopped a guy with I think he had marijuana on him or something.
I'm trying to remember that episode. He had something on him.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it was. It was totally different than what they were looking for. So, yeah, I think it was marijuana. And the sad part is, as much as I like that episode, I figured out who the bad guy was about 20 minutes in.
Jeez. I honestly had no idea watching it
because they made him like super prominent. Like he was dressed more classier than everybody else. And like you need to know who this guy is. Like if you're familiar with how cinema works, it's like they will gussy up one character and be like, okay, you need to focus on this dude. Like, so I was like, he's gonna be your bad guy.
Yeah.
Trying to think I would say I have two favorite episodes actually. The episode where Jenny died and the episode where Mike died. And the episode that let me down the most was the episode where Gibbs' dad died.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, I know they're kind of put up against the wall with that one because, I mean, the actor, he did pass away. But I feel like that could have been more impactful because they tried to split the storyline 50-50 and then try to blend it together right there at the end. Like the investigation and then Gibbs dealing with the death, and then the investigation ends up leading back somehow into where Gibbs is at up here in Pennsylvania. And I don't know. It felt off key with me. Where Mike, when he passed away, and you see Gibbs was building, you didn't know what he was building at the time. And he was making all these eccentric designs and whatnot with the woodwork. And then come to find out he was actually building Mike's coffin the entire episode. Which I thought that was a really nice tie-in. Because it come to find out that Mike knew that he was dying from cancer, and that was on a short leash. And so Gibbs was fulfilling Mike's final request by building that for him. You know, I was thinking about it. Pod Deck should put out cards for big shows. So that way you can think of questions that you want. You could read questions that you would never think of. Because I just did a self-interview with myself, which is actually kind of interesting yesterday using Poddex, being a new sponsor of mine. And that was very interesting. The questions that I was pulling up, I didn't know how to respond to some of them.
Yeah.
So,
well, now that you mention it, what is Poddex?
Go ahead. What's that?
Now that you mention it, what is Poddex?
Well, hang on. I'll pull out right here because I have them right beside me. I have 3 sets of cards. 2 of them, if I get the right ones here. One is the first interview set, and then there's a second set that they came out with. These were the sets that I used yesterday to do the special episode of Let's Talk. There's some good questions in these, by the way. The one that I have not opened yet is the episode deck. But I'm curious, and I'm going to open this one right now because I'm curious.
That one actually has some decent ones that you could probably use.
Oh, let's see, right off the top. 3 silly mistakes to avoid in life. Cool shit amusing lately. Interview your significant other. She would never go for that.
Yeah.
Desert Island. Books, music, movies. What I'm struggling with this week. Record an Instagram or Facebook Live. Well, I practically do that already.
Yeah.
Why I quit. Oh, I could definitely do an episode on that. Share your greatest fear and replay your most downloaded episode. I could do that, and I know exactly which one it is too. It's Kate and Brett when they were on last year.
Yeah.
That's my most popular episode. That and Alex Shashik. Those 2 episodes are 1 and 2.
I was so tempted to ask you to get on when Brett and Kate were on.
What, you had them on your show?
No, when you had them on that one day, I was going to message you to see if you could bring me on.
Oh, I would have. Absolutely would have. But yeah, pod decks are really fun. I'm going to be using them a lot.
Yeah.
So, but again, thank you to Poddex for bringing me on as a sponsor, and I'll put the banner on so that way the website below is where you go to purchase some physical merchandise, and when you get to checkout, just use code NERD21 and you get 10% off your first purchase of any physical merchandise that you order. So again, thanks to Poddex for coming on as a sponsor, and it's greatly appreciated. It was definitely the shot in the arm that I needed. So, and it was a nice, pleasant surprise. And while I'm thinking about it, because I have seen an uptick since this sponsorship began, my current numbers, I said before I was around 500 for audio listens. 539, my friend.
Wow.
I've had almost a 40 listener boost since the Poddex sponsorship began. So I'm definitely seeing an increase. Haven't seen it on YouTube yet, but I have seen it through audio. So again, thank you, Poddex. Anyhow, back to the topic at hand. What season's your favorite season?
Oh, what's his name?
I'm gonna make you think on this one. I already have mine.
Ooh, what was? Ah. Ooh. Oh, what is it? It's the one. What was it?
But even if you
The,
could get the scenario of what was going on.
It was the season that was mainly focused on Fresnel.
There's been a couple of them.
It was, I think he was getting set up by somebody.
I don't remember for now getting. Oh, you're talking about that murderer that could bat left and right. He went and tripped them. Yeah. I know what season you're talking about. That wasn't a bad end cap to a season. Mine is when Richard Schiff was on as the villain and he was blowing up ships.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm also partial to Richard Schiff. I love him as an actor. He's amazing. Like everything he's in, I'm sucked right in as soon as he's on screen.
Yeah,
because I love his acting method. It just feels natural. Where some people it's forced. For him, it just seems like it's just another day for him. But yeah, that was also the season that Jamie Lee Curtis was on, which was kind of really weird to see Jamie Lee Curtis on TV.
Yeah.
So, and I would love for her character to come back because it never did really end her story.
Yeah.
But she ain't going to be coming back anytime soon because now she's making the Halloween movies again.
Yeah. And then what was the season with Kate Todd's sister coming back? Or not coming back, but appearing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trying to remember. There was an inciting incident to that. What was that? Oh, shit. Because Vance was the one that ordered it. God, you got me thinking now. What the hell happened that made... Or was that the fallout from the bombing?
It might have been the bombing.
Yeah, wasn't that the fallout? Like 2 or 3 episodes later, like in the new season?
Yeah, I think so.
That feels right. Because I know McGee got impaled.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember McGee mentioning about that. Or, yeah, it would have had to have been then because they didn't get stuck in Central America until many, many years later.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to double check that real quick. I'm pretty sure. When did Kate... it was Kate Todd, right?
Yeah.
Sister appear on NCIS. Rachel Cranston. That sounds right. See, oh, she's been on a couple of times. Huh. All right. Well, people need to update that damn shit because there's no information there. All right. She first appeared in the episode A Man Walks Into a Bar. That was season 8, episode 4. Oh, wow. She didn't show up till late season 8, episode 14. She was brought in.
It would have to be late. Because if it was early, they would have noticed who she was ahead of time.
No. I'm talking late in the season for what we thought.
Oh, okay.
What? Tries to find it revealed find closure. Doesn't say what the incident that brought her in was. It was so if that's season 8, was the bombing in season 7? Why does that not feel right? So Ziva has left the team for Israel. In the closing seconds of the season, Ziva has been found to be captured and tortured for information about NCIS. In the first episode, Ziva is rescued by Gibbs, Tony, and McGee. I remember that episode because that was a really good episode, actually. This is the one with the Mexican cartel, season 7. Why would she... Okay, and we're way off. She showed up well before the bombing. Huh.
Wait, the cartel was the one where they went to whatever country.
To Mexico.
Oh, yeah, Mexico.
And then the cartel, Pomola, came up to shoot Gibbs' dad there in the finale at Stillwater.
Man, I haven't seen these in a long time.
Then when was the bombing? Oh. Hang on a minute. No, season 8 was a port-to-port killer. So season 10 would have been the bombing.
Wait, when did the new characters show up?
No, season 9 was the bombing. Season 10 was the fallout from the bombing. New characters, they started showing up. There's Fornell. He's always around. Eli's still alive in season 10. Ellie shows up season 11 because season 10 is when Eli dies and Vance's wife dies.
Yeah.
Because season 12 of NCIS coincides with season 1 of New Orleans.
Okay.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah, that means that New Orleans is in season 6 already. Yeah, because Ellie shows up halfway through season 12.
Okay.
That's where you start getting the season casting changes. And then I think that is was it season 12 or season 13 where they supposedly kill Ziva?
Oh.
Because that episode was amazing. That was Tony's final episode.
Yeah.
That's got, in my opinion, that's Tony's best moment is where he comes back to the office after they find out that Ziva's dead, and he slams his hand on the desk and saying, "All hands on deck." That moment in of itself is probably the shining moment for Tony. Because I feel like that's how I would react. Be purely out for vengeance. And then he still gets it in the end anyhow, which is like just amazing. Especially when McGee calls and says, "You want him? We got him." Because that's when the British MI6 agent shows up. What the hell is his name? Shit, I'm gonna have to go back to that page. What was his name?
And then they killed him off.
Yeah, which, come to find out, I read an article about that. The reason his character got killed off because the guy that originally made NCIS.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
He passed away. So he was the one that had this guy's story in his head. He never put it to paper, and they didn't know what else to do with him. So they're like, "Yo, I hate to do this, but you gotta go." So,
and then I understand why everybody is leaving all the time now.
Well, yeah, because the original creator is gone.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, they're on what, season 18 now?
Yeah, you asked me when Mark Harmon decides to hang it up. That's when NCIS will be done, because it feels like it's Gibbs's show. Like, it follows his life.
I mean, if you look at it as like if they were doing a real job, you enter when you're like 21, you stay for 20 years, you're 50. So everybody would retire, and then you just bring in new agents.
Yeah, or people die.
And then I know
season 12 was when Dornigat dies.
I know what's his face that plays Tony just said he got tired of it because he spent 13 years as Tony.
Yeah, and he wanted to do other things. He didn't want to be typecasted. Where the hell did he show up at? That was the season that Michelle Obama showed up in.
Oh, he showed up at...
Weird. That was weird.
Yeah.
Seeing Michelle Obama on the show.
Yeah. He showed up... What was it?
Clayton Reeves. That's his name.
Yeah.
Season 13 is when he shows up. Anyhow, you were saying...
I was going to say, he showed up for... What was it? It was some case, right? For like international.
Yeah, it dealt with the children when the children were bombing things. So really, he showed up in season 12 towards the end.
Yeah.
Oh, trying to think what else. Big events.
I gotta say, I love the elevator.
I forgot about Dornigat dying.
Yeah.
What was that about the elevator?
I gotta say, I love the elevator.
Oh, where he goes, poof.
Yeah, everybody just gets it.
I liked when Abby did it. She goes, oh, so that's what that feels like. And then Tony goes, how'd it feel? Empowering. Ziva's return was pretty awesome.
I mean, I feel like they shouldn't have done that.
Well, in true trope to film, you're not dead unless you see the body.
Yeah. That's why, oh, yeah. So when you're watching 24, watch what happens at the end when the timer goes off.
What, for season 4?
Every episode.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
So they throw a little something in there occasionally. And it's real quick. It's only for like a split second.
Well, no, you listen to the timer at the end. If it's quiet or loud, something happened.
Mm-hmm. What of it? There's also, I've seen little snippets. They put like 1 second snippets right at the end where it goes do, and then it's a cut out. Well, then it's like a small slither of film, and then it's real quick, which means that something big either just happened or is happening like immediately next. I think season 4 is the one where I saw one of the huge events because I happened to be at a friend's house and they were watching it. And that's how I became aware of what the show was. I want to say season 4 was the one where they nuked for Vesicurla or something like that in California. They nuked the suburb of Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I think that's the season I'm on now.
Yeah.
So, anything else NCIS related that you wanted to talk about? Did I miss anything?
What's your favorite Gibbs rule?
Anything that's in the 40s, because once you're in the 40s, you're fucked. Yeah. What is it? Rule 41, clean up your own mess or something like that?
Yeah.
Because I remember Tony went and said, I'm doing one of Gibbs' rules, and I think this is when Ellie first showed up.
Yeah.
I'm doing one of Gibbs' rules, and Ellie goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "Rule 41." And then you see McGee in the background go, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Like, why are we in the 40s? It's never good when we're in the 40s. The 40s are for the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I also like Rule 50. Sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah.
So that I do like that one. I do like how some of his rules contradict like another rule.
Yeah.
And he never goes back and fixes it. He's like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
But then like the same episode will be like Rule 23. And then like Rule 36 will countercede Rule 23. And then Denozo will be like, yo, you do realize that one of your other rules, like, I don't care, Rule 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Gibbs rules are good. They should do a Schmodown where it's just nothing but the Gibbs rules.
Yeah.
Just to see how many people would get it.
Yeah.
Just like as an exhibition match. I guarantee you, I don't know. I know very little of them. The only one I know is 41, and that's clean up your own mess. Because that's the one that comes up the most often.
Yeah. And then you can't forget the Gibbs stare.
Well, how can you forget the Gibbs stare? That and the Gibbs slap. Hell, I do the Gibbs slap to the kids every so often. The kids are acting up instead of slapping their asses. Like, it's not hard. It's just enough to go. Like, get your shit together there, kiddo. Stop being a denozo. And the sad part is my kids understand that reference.
Wow.
So yeah, they don't watch NCIS at all. I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, they don't watch The Walking Dead at all. My son is the one that got me into that show.
I'm still stuck on like season 2.
At all. My son also got me into that show too. Actually, what locked me into Supernatural was Crowley. Guy's a total dick, but he's awesome. Anyhow, I digress. Oh, I forgot about the Gibbs rules. I can't believe I forgot about the Gibbs rules.
Yeah.
I do love that him and Ducky, as close as friends that they are, Ducky isn't afraid to put him in his goddamn place.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you really fucked the pooch here. So you got to do something, or we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Or when he quit that one season, and then he comes back, and then Ducky gives him the cold shoulder for like half the season, and then everybody's like, yo, Duck, you're being an ass. He goes, yeah, but you fucking quit on us. He didn't even tell us why. He just left. Like, you ain't wrong. It was kind of a dick move there on Gibbs' part. Oh, I thought of another good Gibbs moment. I'm trying to remember what it was in reference to. But they were in the process. They were in the middle of the investigation. They were going to go overseas. They were going to go Middle East. And this is right after Gibbs had got shot by that kid.
Oh, yeah.
And it was with the guy that now plays Lex Luthor on Supergirl.
Oh.
He also played the one character from 2.5 Men.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of his name to save my life. But when Gibbs collapsed there at his desk, and everybody thought he had a heart attack. You remember that episode?
Yeah, I think so.
That was a good moment because it showed that he wasn't invincible. He didn't have plot armor.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I got shot, but you know what? I'm good. Like, no, I got shot and I'm pretty fucked up. Like, and that's one thing I like about NCIS is they have plot armor to a certain point because God knows that some of the terrorists and shit that they go up against have the aim of a goddamn stormtrooper. But that being said, they're not afraid to go on a limb and off somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, shock factor, Kate.
Yeah.
Like immediately, Kate season 2 like came out of nowhere. Like there wasn't no lead up to it. It just was.
Yeah.
Now Jenny wasn't so much a shock factor because they were teasing that she was sick.
Yeah.
They never did tell us what she was sick with, though. So, but I digress. That's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. I mean, hell, Ducky had a heart attack and almost died.
Yeah.
Gibbs got shot and almost died. Tourniquet was blown up. Ziva, we thought, died for the longest time. come to find out that she was pulling the strings to save Gibbs and McGee down in Central America, which was a nice little plot thread to add on. Trying to think, anybody else that died that was like shock factor-ish? Vance's wife.
Yeah.
I always saw Eli getting killed, but I wasn't planning on Vance's wife being collateral damage.
Yeah. Jeez, I remember.
The MI6 officer. God, I just dropped his name out of my brain again. Clayton.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought that was Abby that got killed. That's how I expected Abby to go out. I expected her to get shot. I can't think of anybody else.
Yeah, I think that's everybody that's died.
That was shock factor wise.
Yeah.
Everybody else that's died, you pretty much had a lead up to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're pushing an hour, so we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
Nice putting a face to the name, finally. And if you come up with another topic that you want to talk about, or when I post topics that I'm going to be talking about, let me know, and we'll get you back. And I am trying to land Kate and Brett again.
Yeah.
So whether or not I succeed, that's a whole different ball of wax. Because I would love to get them back, because they were a hoot to talk to. And you should have hit me up on that one, man.
Yeah.
You should have. Especially when that was at the height of the rivalry.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for being on. Greatly appreciated. And again, you follow him on Twitter. This time I have his channel's Twitter account up. Tell me if I have this right. Cinema Gold 2.
Yep.
Okay. Got it right this time. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. All you gotta do is look up Hotel Nerd Network, and you can also follow me on Twitter at hotel_nerd86, and look up Hotel Nerd on Facebook, and you'll find me. If you find Hotel Nerd, you'll find the Facebook group. If you find Hotel Nerd Network, you'll find the Facebook page. And I'm everywhere. I'm in multiple groups. So you'll see my content scattered throughout the ether of Facebook. And again, go to the website here in the ticker below for pod decks. If you're interested in any physical merchandise, use code NERD21 for 10% off at checkout for your first purchase. It is your way of being able to help the channel make some profit and be able to do bigger, better things. So again, Larry, thank you very much.
Yep.
Newman,
Thanks for having me.
Gotta call you Newman at least once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still want to do that match. We still need to figure out how to talk Christian into letting us do that. Being that we're doing virtual shit now. All right. Have yourself a good day.
Yeah, you too.
And thank you for being on this episode of Let's Talk. And thank you for everybody that watched this episode of Let's Talk. Don't forget to comment and like the channel. Everything you guys do, even if it's an unlike, everything you guys do helps with the algorithm on YouTube. So it helps me get exposure for the channel. Have yourself a good day, and see you on the next episode.